questions from the good people that subscribe to the Trip After Dark platform, man. Let's get right to it. What we got going on?
All right. First question. Let me pivot right quick. I know an episode or two back we spoke about private profiles and how women be having private profiles and like trying to hit you. It just dawned on me, maybe just being a low-key IT nerd about it, but like there is a level of personal security when it comes to having a private profile.
Absolutely.
And also, I think you spoke about this, about how too many men be operating kind of wild when it comes to approaching women.
Absolutely.
So
I get why the profile private. I'm not hating on the private profile, but I'm saying like you are almost shooting your shot with me being blinded, like blindfolded. All I got is that little, and I don't even think you can like, cause you can like hold somebody Abby to blow it up on Instagram. I don't even think you could do that on somebody's page if it's private. I have no way to verify that I'm attracted to you.
Yeah, watch your hands though, cause it's pulling the mic a little bit. But no, for real, I got that. And yeah, I think the irony is just the confidence of knowing that you maybe won't be judged. You know what I'm saying? Like
you won't, because I'm not going.
Yeah.
There's no judgment at all. Like actually, matter of fact, you have in fact completely evaded judgment, positive or negative. Cause I'm just not going. You got to look fire as fuck in that private profile, Abby, for me to want to see what's going on over there.
And painful as it may be for you to deal with, for me, I found some frustration recently. I can't message people when they drop a fire question because I have to send a request in order to message them from the page. You know what I'm saying? So there's a few people that like ask some like really dope stuff that I'm like, I can't even, you know what I'm saying? I can't even like really.
Can't say nothing.
I can't say nothing to you. I have to like, hey, send a request, and they have to see it and respond. You know what I'm saying? So it adds a different level of annoyance. But yeah.
Yeah, it ain't no hating on the private page. Some of y'all got jobs. Some of y'all got people y'all don't want to see in y'all business. I get all of that. All of that is respected and understand. But the thing, we talking about shooting your shot from a private page. I don't know what you want me to do with that. All my whole page out into the public, nigga, face everywhere. You see me, I would like to see you. Who am I talking to? That ain't no invitation to start sending attachments with y'all shots and shit like that. That's just saying like keep your private page. Somebody that get to see you in real life is gonna appreciate you.
No, that's word. What you be you still gaming? I know it's ain't nothing to do with nothing, but you still be gaming?
Yeah, whooping ass.
Word.
I know you saw that shit on my story, bro.
Okay. Cause I low key, I got beef, man.
I don't jump on there all the time, but when I'm home, I'm there, bro.
No. That's not even that. Cause you posted the Warzone joint, right? And I remember
this team deathmatch, but
fair. Hear me out. The first time I ever played Warzone, I hit you up like, yo, let's jump on or whatever the case is. First time playing Call of Duty post like 2014, I don't know, right? Bruh, you left me so many times.
Bruh.
I was tight, man. I'm like, dude, you supposed to be showing me the ropes, at least have some grace. This dude is on the other side of the map, kicking it.
So check me out.
I am dying.
This is why I be in my lane, right? People, this is why I encourage you to stay in your lane. I can teach poems. I can teach rap. I can teach creative writing. I can't teach you no video game. I can't. I'm not the guy. Because I play with, I'm not even, especially on Warzone, I'm not the best one out of my real friend group or my video game friend group. I'm nice, but not on Warzone, I'm not the best one. So like, I'm feeling like I am going slow. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, clearly, I just...
No, I got it together after that. Like, I soon picked it up. You know what I mean? But like, bruh. We was in a team setting.
It worked.
It was a four-man team. I'm thinking we gonna be you know what I'm saying, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, operating, you know what I'm saying, doing. I've never played online Call of Duty, so I didn't know how fast paced it was. So I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, 4 is greater than 1. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be operate, bang, 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 clear the room, clear the, you know what I'm saying, clear the objective sort of thing. Nope. Y'all parachuting and paragliding across the map. I am stuck getting.
Cause it's like, all right, when you, depending on who you play with, right? You kind of got two major play styles. Right. You got the play style you talking about where it's like we'll either go 2 and 2 or we'll all 4 roll, and we'll like roll as a unit, but that can be inefficient sometimes if other people are nice, because for the most part I like to play like you take your zone, I take my zone. You know what I'm saying? And if we need to come revive each other, we'll do that. But it's like we'll spread out and you responsible for taking this whole lane up the map. I'll take this whole lane up the map. Yeah. So it's like no flex. I got the capability to take a squad out, especially if they don't catch it. Like if they don't see me rolling, if I catch all 4 of y'all together, it's raps.
So it's like a private profile.
Immediate raps, no judgment. Like I see why y'all was sticking together. I see why y'all was doing what y'all was doing. Like you said, it's security in it. Yeah. It's a certain level of security and having all 4 of y'all. But when I slide through and my aim is from shoulder up, all 4 of y'all just a couple trigger squeezes away, bro. Now all of y'all crawling on the ground. It's all types of armor plates on the floor. And y'all all salty. We on the proximity chat, y'all boys salty. And now I'm talking greasy.
No, that's facts.
Doing the up down over your crawling body. Pause.
Doing the Halo. You know it started with Halo, right?
Yeah. I was Xbox first. I jumped to PlayStation after Red Ring of Death, man. Xbox had me fucked up.
It was crazy. I was the opposite. Like I was PS1 and 2, then jumped to Xbox 360. And I don't know why.
I went from Nintendo to Xbox to PlayStation.
Oh, dang. So you was Xbox for a minute then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. All right. My fault, y'all. That had nothing to do with nothing.
But come see me on that Call of Duty. The joint he talking about, I went like 39 and 17, bro.
Oh, you was cooking then.
Yeah, like that wasn't no. Yeah. People was in my DMs talking. No, bro, I really will beat your ass. Like the only time you'll catch me lacking is on them newer maps. Now again, Warzone, admittedly, bro, I'm not. But whether we playing hardcore team deathmatch or regular team deathmatch, I will beat your ass. You better be like world ranked. You know what I'm saying? Like rolling with like a real tactical unit when you play, but like person to person, pound to pound, like bro, that 39-17, that's rare. But 20 and 14 is not. I'm towning on you. I'm top 3 every trip.
Nah. Yeah, I don't think I've cracked top. I think the closest when I was playing was like maybe top 20 one time. And like I was like, I ain't never been in the zone like that before. Like I was like low key Goku Ultra Instinct. Like I was like feeling, you know what I'm saying? But like other than that, like nah.
I'm gonna get in there, bro. I'm the zone ain't hard to reach in Call of Duty. I'm gonna tell you like the fake secret. Just keep your eye on the white dot in the middle of the crosshair, bro, and move that everywhere. Most people when they play the game, like you'll be looking all across the screen and you'll see a person, but like you ain't moved your crosshairs nowhere, so you think you done did something because you looking at them, but like when you watch your kill cam, so it's like, bro, once you like zone in and kind of tunnel vision on the crosshairs, I'm not saying that's a surefire way to not get killed, but like anywhere I'm moving and I'm looking, my gun is pointed where I'm moving and looking. So that's how I be catching people lacking. And I got my burst game together. People be too desperate, be holding the trigger down. Team deathmatch, it take a good 6 shots to like kill somebody if you're not shooting them in the nugget. Squeeze, fam. Squeeze. Come see about me, man. This thing ain't even supposed to be about video games, but regardless, come see about me.
Yeah. We
get tuned up. Elden Ring, you come see about me.
mess with it, man. So, all right, I guess we can get into something right quick. What this is coming from somebody, Miss G Divine. I don't know your name, so forgive me. What do you do when your man is depressed but won't take any encouragement from you?
Encouragement is not a cure for depression. Depression is like it's a diagnosis, right? As someone who's been diagnosed, I can tell you, motherfuckers, when I'm down bad, like one of them days where it's actually hard to get out the bed, and like my goal for the day is just to get to the shower and brush my teeth and shit like that, I don't care who's being encouraging. My favorite songs be encouraging. The thing with depression, one of the main symptoms is a loss of interest in the shit that you actually interested in. A loss of desire for the things that you usually desire. So even if a person does want to be encouraged, depression often causes a lack of interest in those things. So, get niggas some help. Now, if you talking about encouragement to get help, that's a different thing. But even still, like, depression is hard, man. Like, you can ask anybody that goes through it. Them bouts are not easy, fam. Now, some things maybe you could do in the relationship, I guess, to help without trying to encourage. Maybe y'all go on some more walks. Sunlight is great. You know what I'm saying? Get out in some nature. The sunlight and moving the body, both of those things in conjunction are great for depression. They're great for anxiety. If he's open, go put your feet in some grass. Grounding is a very real thing with very real studies done on it and the benefits of it. If the man don't want to put his feet in some grass, get him a grounding mat. They make grounding mats that you can put on your bed when you sleep. You could just put your feet on it when you at the house. So maybe it's some things that, and then outside of depression, right? Everybody's not activated by verbal encouragement. That's just a general thing, right? Some people don't like to be encouraged in that capacity. Let me, I guess, liken this to the gym. When some people are in there lifting, they want their spotter to, oh yeah, you got that big dog. Yeah, go ahead. That's all you. Some people like that. Some people that get them amped up. Other people's want they spotter to shut the fuck up. Let me do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to grunt. I'm about to yell. I'm about to do what I need to do to get the weight up, but I don't need you to constantly talk to me and try to push me in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? Again, some people aren't responsive to that. So what I would say to you instead, don't internalize that. Again, depression is a real medical diagnosis. I was diagnosed with both depression and seasonal affective disorder, which is what the cool kids would call seasonal depression. So I have like mild Reggie depression, you know what I'm saying? And then shit get intense in a certain season. So in some of those moments, like I'm saying, like I don't need encouragement. I need to talk to my therapist, you know what I'm saying? And have somebody remind me of my working tools and put them fresh in my mind and kind of get me in a space where, because the thing about depression, anxiety, like some of those things, but especially depression, you don't just like shake it. You manage, right? You navigate. You don't just, okay, you're good. You're gonna be all right. Okay, big self hug. And depression is gone for the day. That's not how none of that works. You know what I'm saying? Because on the days that I am able to make it up out of my bed, I'm depressed. The days that I still make it to work and I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing at work and I'm listening and I'm attentive, the depression is still there. It doesn't just, you can't poof and make it be gone. It hits in waves, you know what I'm saying? The same way a person with like a acid reflux or some shit like that, you could be on top of your shit. That doesn't make the acid reflux go away. Like not having a flare up doesn't mean you don't necessarily have it. It just means that you have it under control. So don't internalize that. That's not your job. You're not medicine. You're not therapy. Create an environment and put mechanisms in place that allow him to navigate that depression safely. Perhaps what you could do is talk about action plans. I think that's a good thing to talk about. I just kind of remembered that, like talking to my nephew about that. That was one of the things before I started going to therapy, I learned through my nephew, like was a thing in therapy. Having an action plan on those hard days where it's like, all right, cool. I checked in with myself. I know depression is on my ass. Here's what I do on these days to at least make sure I can get to ground zero. Because when you're going through a depressive episode, what you don't want to happen is spiraling, right? And that's one thing I would say, not to like intervene, like, hey, snap out of it type with your partner, but like maybe, all right, I'm down bad today. Let me make sure I'm out of bed before 10. I can give myself that grace, right? I know I'm not gonna get straight out the bed, but on days like today, you out the bed by 10, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my vitamins, brush my teeth. I'm gonna at least check my email to make sure any communication that I need to get done is gonna get done, right? Other than that, I gotta give myself the space and time, bro. I can't commit to too much outside of that, but these pivotal things that I need to get done today, I'm gonna make sure I get those done. I'm gonna make sure I check in with folks. If I need extensions on some things, I'm gonna make sure I get that done, make sure people at least got that communication, but that's all I can commit to. You know, so your action plan ain't got to look just like that, but I would say that's maybe where your support could be, but the encouragement thing, with no disrespect, dead that. Go ahead and dead that.
I'd have to ask, how much do you depend on them being their absolute best for you to make it through your day? Does their depression or does their season of sadness, does that have a negative impact on you? And if so, why? And all bias, because clearly I'm a dude, but like I see men's issues, whether it be mental health or whatever the case is, it's kind of like you kind of have to rush someone through it. And I caution against trying to have encouragement or anything that you do be a means of rushing him through what he's either unaware of how to deal with or maybe trying to deal with, because that can make the episode or the spiraling that much more worse. Because it's like it kind of gets into, you know, the thing where men are kind of like having to be in a constant state of like providing or solving a problem or whatever the case is. And it's kind of like that within itself, if you feel like you're not measuring up as a man, and if that's your chosen role, that makes it harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my woman can't count on me, this and the third. Like that makes the weight heavier. So lean into trying to figure this person out as a human being, as a person first, see what they need and don't need, because as someone who has tried to provide like the overt encouragement to someone who's going through some depressive season, that makes it worse, bro. Like I've done that for my woman before, and it's just kind of like it don't go nowhere. And it's like I've been told like, yo, this is not working. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you kind of have to like really pay attention. And yeah, that's really all about that. I'm gonna move this out the way because I just realized this is kind of like, it looks nice. I'm just looking at it like, why is this thing there? But anywho, yeah. So maybe moving on to a different level of understanding. Maybe hopefully I did do this question justice enough. But how do you deal with people that say they are empaths but don't leave space for you to validate your feelings?
Being an empath does not make you a good person. Being an empath doesn't make you considerate. Doesn't make you any of those things. So a whole lot of things can be true at once. A person can be an empath and be shitty. Completely shitty. They can feel you, process your whole, and be shitty. Right? That's like, assuming that just because a person got some type of gifts, that they using them for good, or they using them for the benefit of themselves and other people, or that they serving folks with it. That's not always the case. That's how. You know, I wish I had some long, elaborate, deep, and well thought out answer, but this one really just not, it doesn't require all that. A person can absolutely, and then a person claiming to be an empath don't mean they're a fucking empath. Being an empath is some shit that got hot on Twitter, like during COVID, or right before. Now everybody empaths. Oh, I feel everything so deeply. That don't, man, don't. There you go. That's how do you deal with don't. You don't deal with that. It ain't got nothing to do with them claiming they an empath. If ain't no space for your emotions, that mean ain't no space for you. You are a human being, which means you come with feelings. They're kind of a part of how we process this whole human experience. Those chemical receptors let us know, hey, this is potentially a good thing. This is potentially a bad thing. You ain't got no room to do that, then you being cut off from an entire way to process information. Deal with what? This, because we get attached to the feeling so much that we have kind of conflated what they're, this is not to say not to experience your feelings, we've kind of conflated what they for. If someone invalidates your experience, they're invalidating one of your mechanisms to process. It does not mean that those feelings are always correct, but when they say your feelings are valid, that means that your mechanism with which to process this information is correct. Your interpretation or your actions from that interpretation may be wrong as a motherfucker, but using that as a vehicle to process, and you telling me that the person you sitting across from is restricting you from that modality? Deal with what? This person won't even let you fully deal with you. And I use let loosely because you're the one who allowing that to go down like that. Again, you come with feelings. So if your feelings are being suppressed in a relationship, it's because you are staying in a space where you are being suppressed. Hey, look, man. I ain't telling you to go. I ain't telling you to stay. I'm saying that if that don't change, what you finna do? Ain't got nothing to do with nobody claiming to be an empath. Y'all be hinging on people reasoning too much. As if the investigation into something like that would somehow then create space where you claim there is none. The question, was there ever? Was you ever really like allowed to bring your whole bag? Or did you start trying to like move more and more emotions into the space and you got, I ain't blaming you. I'm just saying, like, as you do your work, as you watch the game tape, man, be careful when you scrubbing over it to see where perhaps the misstep was made, if a misstep was made at all. Or maybe you just overstayed your welcome somewhere, which many of us do sometimes. So, but again, emotions, we process like that. I ain't saying everything that feel good is good. I'm just saying that's one of your vehicles to process things, and if you can't do that, then I don't know if that's somewhere you really need to be making long-term investments.
Let me ask you a question. Is we hear two things can be true, going in a slightly different direction, but hopefully spinning it back in an appropriate way. Is LeBron a great free throw shooter?
Nah.
But is he a great scorer?
Yeah.
Great player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of where I'm hoping to go with this, but like I feel that there is a realm of operation that people are good at that is not always indicative, or like maybe always an indicator that they are great in every single modality of that operation. So someone can be empathetic to a lot of different things, but maybe have struggled being empathetic to you for whatever reason that may be. Also, I've experienced that empathy is a spectrum.
That's fair.
People have the ability to feel and kind of resonate or whatever with whatever's going around in the world or people close to them, but they struggle with being empathetic towards said person or personality. Not to say it's a thing of like, you know, all right, cool. That should be cool. You know, some wrong being done. Like, hopefully that's not the case. But like, even still, it's just like empathy only goes so far with some people. You know what I mean? And it's not a matter of, if it is a matter of like you dealing with or trying to navigate alongside or be in partnership or be in community or life with someone who is like this, try to understand that this is who they are. And also, empathy being a spectrum, that can change. You know what I mean? If it's causing like an ongoing form of harm, then you kind of have to move accordingly. But like other than that, like, yeah, man, like there's people who are, you know, great responders to certain things, but they're poor responders to other things. Like I think that I've definitely fallen into that before, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, I was, you know, not in shape to do what was required at the time, but like, it's possible, you know what I mean?
I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right, and I got, we could probably wrap after this one. This audio should come through. We got a question from Linnea. She was gracious enough to send us some audio. We're gonna let this rock.
Hey Tripp, what are some good ways to maneuver when dealing with someone who was raised on survival and not love? How do you create a safe space to allow them to be able to embrace that love?
Alright. Check me out. I gotta first ask, are you safe? Has whoever you're referring to come along far enough that they're not damaging folks in personal relationship? Cause you learn some fucked up practices when you raised off survival. I'm not saying it wasn't no love in my house. It was plenty of love in my house. But as far as like the life we were living, it was about survival. You feel me? So I got like a foot in both. And you learn some pretty unhealthy shit. Because survival mode, like, it legitimately, like, and I'm talking about fight or flight. It impedes on one's ability to think long term, like the actual parts of your brain that think long term, that set goals, that think about the future. Like they're shut down in order to make you hyper alert in the moment, right? In order to survive. So too much of this, I'm not saying like brain damages, but it like on some, you don't use it, you lose it. Like you kind of get stuck there and you get reduced to thinking about right now. You get reduced to, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being present, but again, you are in effect shutting down certain parts of your brain, you feel me? So when you talk about goal setting and you talk about the progress in a relationship and you talk about closeness and all of them things, man, it starts to get difficult, I think, to show up in a certain way that can guarantee the safety of other people long term.
Let me ask you a question. When you say something, when you mention like goal setting, right? So if someone has a goal of coming from a place of survival, that traumatic survival, they want to be in said lifestyle. Say they want to make the infamous 6 figures, right? But they don't take the steps to make that happen. Would you say that's the same, or is that different from like not having a long-term mindset?
I think it can all exist in the same space. So like I think we could use that example to break down perhaps a person in survival mode viewing that 6 figures.
Gotcha.
You'll have some people who will outright resort to the fast lane. It's people who resort to illegal means. You'll have some people who can't actually, and when I say goal set, I mean like really think about where am I going to be in 3 years?
Yeah.
And how does that, from this point, take me closer to that 6 figures? Because I'm thinking about today and getting to and perhaps through tomorrow. And it's not to say these people don't desire truly to have this lifestyle. Again, it's parts of the brain that are being impacted.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll have a kid, I'm gonna just work hard. I'm gonna just work. Well, okay, well, what you gonna do over the next 90 days to get there? I don't know. I ain't really thought that far ahead. And you like, nigga, that's 3 months. What do you mean? You got reports that's due in 3 months. How you not? It's shit on your real ass syllabus that requires your attention.
Right.
That's due in 3 months.
Right.
You know, it's not to say that the person raised in survival can't love. It's not to say that they're incapable of relationship, and that's what I'm saying. It matters, like, how far have they come as far as how they were raised and then establishing relationship and love for themselves, because that's really what it's about. Like, a person don't have to have all of a sudden have a fixed home and their whole family situation worked out. It's just like, bro, did you realize that there were certain things that weren't a part of your childhood? Did you realize that perhaps you were left lacking or underdeveloped in certain areas, and what have you done to improve? You know what I'm saying? So again, it's like, that's why the first thing I ask is, are you safe? Like, you, person who professes that you were raised in love and the other person was raised in survival, are you safe? Can you recognize that this person has been able to evolve to the point that they can at least cultivate safety, right? They may not be able to love as intensely as you can, or may not be as willing to be as vulnerable as fast as you are to the depth that you are, but are you at least safe? In the process of learning these things, should you choose to create an environment for them to learn, in the process of them learning these things, do they have the wherewithal to practice without damaging you? Do you have boundaries in place that would allow them to practice and become better without harming you? I think that is a much more efficient focal point, perhaps, to start. Because if you don't have safety, right, if you don't have boundaries, you're gonna fuck around and end up backsliding, trying to, you know, be a hero to somebody. I'll tell you, like we said on the last episode, take your cape off. Take your cape off. Human beings, take your cape off. It's time for that. After we do anti-goofy, we gonna run on that campaign. I don't know what we gonna call it yet. I ain't got no cool shit to say just yet. But take your capes off, man. Like, we not doing that no more. You can appreciate yourself best by appreciating your own humanity, right? Coming into a very real understanding that you are not perfect, and appreciating that, like actually appreciating the fact that you don't know everything, that you can't do everything, because then you come into a greater appreciation for what you are and who you are. No, I may not be able to run a fucking 4.240. That's cool. My poems are fire, bro. They're fire. I appreciate that about myself. I may not be able to draw from a photographic memory. I never did become the Black Bob Ross. But God damn it, my fashion sense is fire. I put together art every time I get dressed when I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like so I appreciate me.
You got to pin that. That's cold. I ain't go front. I ain't trying to gas
Bless,
you.
nah.
That was cold. That was
Bless. So it's like I can appreciate Bob Ross more, knowing that like, damn, this nigga was so cold. Like, you can't just go be the black Bob Ross. You know what I'm saying? And I hope I hope I'm not going so far with the example that it's losing folks. I kind of leave it there. Like, we ain't gotta beat the dead horse again. Like, just take your capes off, bruh. Like, appreciate your humanity, and then perhaps, like, I think you may be able to even empathize on a deeper level with the person across from you when you realize that, like, man, it's not my job to save this person. So let me aid this person in saving themselves. Maybe I can do that. Just maybe I could do that, right? Maybe I could assist you in getting you together. But, like, actually saving you, we need to be better humans. And part of being a better human is understanding that you're not a savior, bro.
Word. And it's low-key maybe a question, but if peace is boring, can safety be dangerous?
Said if peace is boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
To someone who's never experienced it.
Can safety be
dangerous? Like, if only reason why I ask that is because when someone has a safe space and they've never had a safe space, they don't know what the heck it looks like, because like their nervous system is wired to be in a place of survival.
I think that person can be dangerous. I don't think safety itself is dangerous. I think that person can be dangerous to the space because they don't recognize the value in it and they don't know how to conduct themselves in it.
Gotcha.
And that's why I was saying, like, even in this same question, like, shorty, are you safe? Does this person know when you in a room full of priceless pottery not to throw stones, not to run around this motherfucker swinging their arms and shit like that?
Yeah.
Do you know how to act in here? At least that. Like, you may not understand about the pottery we got. You may not know you may not know about clay, bro. You don't know nothing about no kiln. You've never seen ghosts, a little romantic on you don't know shit. You literally don't know shit about pottery, fam. Yeah. This your first exposure, except for the fact that you recognize that these things are delicate and easily broken, and you should probably chill.
Yeah.
If you could at least do that. But other than that, no, I would completely say a safe space can become very unsafe to a person who does not recognize safety. I think that's a fair way to say it, and I agree.
Word.
With that, it's been another episode of the Grown Folks Table. I am Tripp-Fontane. We got Cousin Kenny in the cut, man. We'll see y'all next time. Actually, before we get up out of here, remember, this y'all time to be a part of the episode. You know what I'm saying? This is your moment. You feel me? Y'all be hitting me on my DMs.
Yep.
Y'all be hitting on the email. Tripp-After-Dark.
Wait, the wrong email with that.
Yeah, the wrong email.
The most wrongest of emails.
Tripp-After-Dark on all social media platforms. DM Cousin Kenny. Patreon.com/Tripp-After-Dark. DM us on there. Technically, that would be here.
Yeah.
Point is, it's channels for that. Come be a part of the episode, man.
info@trippfontane.com.
That's the email. It's gonna be in the lower thirds. That's where you're supposed to send your questions, if you must use email. If the gram ain't, Cousin Kenny prefer the email. But point is, tap in. Cause this one right here, this whole space, this one is for y'all. With that being said, we up out of here, man. Peace out.
So he pulled up the Brian car and get out and start he left the car on and just got out. I'm like, why did he get out? In my mind, I'm just seeing this unfold and I'm like, I'm about to take this man's car and pull off. This is what I'm processing in my mind. So as he gets out, he starts talking, blah, 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 blah. And then